And hey, everybody, we're live and introducing my guest. And Paul Williams is running for mayor of Oakland. Paul, thank you very much for joining us and
Yes,
Zennie 62 and talking about you. Uh, tell
yes.
everybody about Mr. Williams. Who is Paul Williams?
Well, I'm Paul Williams, Paul Bull, Paul Bull Williams. I'm a deacon in the church at Pastor
Yes,
Good Hope
yes,
Baptist Church in Oakland. There, Pastor Joel Smith, and then I'm on the building fund, and I just retired from the waterfront. I mean, I know all about the ports, the trucking industry, and that sort of thing. I was an instructor down on the ports and helped fed the soldiers, and whatnot, and on the army base down in California, out here, and so now, my turn is to give back and thank God for my dad who helped open this door, which was my dad just recently passed away at 91,
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bishop Henry Williams.
Yes,
He's truly
absolutely.
gonna be missed here. So my dad,
Yeah,
he opened the door, and so always said, stand up, take a stand. If you see something, say something. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And another thing, you always say, sometimes you can't sit back and just wait. So if you need something done, have to take care of something. Sometimes you have to do it yourself.
yeah,
And so
absolutely.
and so mm, so now it's my turn. Not just about it's not about being just shining, but it's
Hmm.
about giving back and supporting, and I'm for the peoples. And so
Yes,
that's what it's about. I'm for the peoples, and so now I see a lot of things need to be straightened up, and so I'm gonna see what I can do to help bring the city back, to make it better. And so I would like to run for mayor. And so God is first in my life, and I'm a family man first, and married, and wife, and and family, and I love it. And I'm reaching out to the community, and I'm a people person,
yeah.
and I'm taking a stand.
Yeah,
And
you
so
met your wife who set you up and everything. So, yeah, great
yeah,
family there. Hey,
yes,
so Paul, what was the aha moment where you said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run for mayor? What happened that made you want to pull the trigger, as they say?
well, maybe what made me want to just pull the trigger because it's so much going down. It's like we're losing here. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yes,
I
sir.
see so many buildings, so many property is being shut down, closed up, fenced up, boarded up. Graffiti goes up immediately. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? And
Yes,
so, and the reason why that is because a lot of this is being allowed. They're allowing it.
yes, sir.
Don't just ignore it. You have to do something about it. And
Hmm.
so that's where I come in. You know what I mean? They got these big, huge grants and whatnot for these potholes. You know what I mean? That's everywhere, messing up people's cars. You know what I mean? And the streets are too dark. They want to bring down crime, sir. The streets is too dark.
Hmm.
The suspects know. They know. They know a lot of them get away with it because the streets is too dark. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It doesn't make any sense. And in order to help save lives, and I believe a lot of this crime will be prevented. A lot of this can, you know, uh, didn't have to happen. We lost a lot of good people. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Right here
sir.
in Oakland, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And then
Hmm.
a lot of the trees are overgrown to where you can't see the street lights. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? The
Hmm.
workers need to get. There's a lot of great workers also. It's not about just trying to take nobody's job or nothing. It's just that the ones who's supervising needs to drive around the city, see what needs to be done to
Hmm.
brighten up our city.
Hmm.
We need to brighten up our city. And my slogan is, let's take back Oakland.
Hmm.
Let's take back our Oakland. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. Again, like I say, sir, everything is closing up. Things closing up. And listen, within a month or so, you know, uh, the time is going to go back, and a lot of our kids going to be coming back and forth from these different school programs and whatnot in the dark, all
Mm-hmm.
downtown there. Oh, for the ad line and 16th and 18th by the Infirmary Park, sir. It's so dark around there. You know what I mean? It's real dark. I mean, a lot of these off streets where where people got to go home and stuff like that, sir. You got to put on your high beams
Mm-hmm.
on an off
Yeah.
street. I can't believe it. A
Wow.
lot of dull lights. They need to, find a way to, brighten up the city. You know what I mean? And that was play a big part of crime. It would help. It would make sure that people make it home safely. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And you know, they lost a good lady that worked at the post office years ago. On her way home. And she
Mm,
didn't make it. She didn't
mm,
make it.
mm,
It's just not right. Because the city is so dark. And then,
mhm,
the graffiti goes up everywhere, all along the freeways, all on the brick buildings and all on the, as you're driving along on the freeway. Now, a lot of these workers and the engineers and Caltrans and get out there and sandblast. You can sandblast and bring down a lot of that graffiti and whatnot. Keep our city looking good. You know what I
mhm.
mean? Somebody's got to do the work. Somebody's got to, and it's not all about just receiving the grant. You know what
Right.
I mean? You
Mhm. Yes.
receive the grant, then somebody needs to gotta then do the work because the money is there.
Mhm. Hey,
Yeah, so
so
now I'm ready to take a stand. Little
what
bull.
what are your thoughts regarding the work of the current mayor, Barbara Lee, former Congresswoman Barbara Lee?
Barbara Lee,
Yes, sir.
um, I don't know who you know, works with her, and stuff like that. But I mean, everybody do the best they can when they have their chance and opportunity. So, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, put nobody down about their position. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And so I don't know how much they have in their plan or their proposals, that sort of thing, or what's coming ahead. But from what I see right now,
Mhm.
it's not looking good. It's not
Mm,
looking good.
mhm.
Yeah. So I'm willing to take a stand. I'm willing to put my 2 cents in to help the people. I'm fighting for the peoples, and that's me. If I have to get around from door to door, if something take place in the city, if I have to immediately be there, I'm gonna be there to show I care. You know what I mean? And that's where it's at. That's where it's at. And our senior citizens, you know what I mean? Like senior citizens shouldn't have to pay taxes. That's another thing. Our senior citizens have to pay taxes. You know, I have parents, you have parents we all have parents, you know what I mean? Because,
Yes, sir.
they live their lives, they don't work hard all their lives. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So
Yes,
that
sir.
24,000 a year, they deserve that. They
Mhm.
deserve to keep that. You don't need to tax them.
Mhm.
You got all these big money makers and these big negotiators and whatnot. You tax the rich, not the poor.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of issues that's very important. And then it got two large, big grants for safety alone, sir, just for
Mhm.
safety. And
Mhm.
they in my phone, but 3.8 million, what 9.4, 9.2 million, and just some things that I browsed through. But
Mhm.
man, oh Lord.
Hey,
So
what
that
do you go ahead? Go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't mean to.
no. What I'm about to say is the money's in place. And
Mhm.
so every once in a while, I know they have a cleanup day and the community get together, about 100 people. That's a blessing. You know what I mean? But they have city workers 5 to 6 days a week to keep our city nice.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And this garbage thing, you know what I mean? Wow, they just got a big grant for that. This illegal dumping. I get it. You know what I mean? Um,
Mhm.
these these dumpers are not going to come back and pick it up. So, for these city workers, if it's on your route, hey, look, tell your boss, hey, look, hey, we got this on our route. And, it don't look good out here. You know what I'm saying? And up and down East 14th, sometimes he'll get it. But, we got our young people being dropped off by AC Transit near a bunch of garbage. No, that's right. Who wants to open up a candy bar? No. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
What are your thoughts regarding the idea that, and this is going to come up on the ballot in November, the mayor needs more power, that Mayor Lee doesn't have enough power? What are your thoughts about that? Do you favor a charter change for strong mayor? And if so, how would you take advantage of that if you feel it's needed?
Oh, wow. Good point. Yes, I will take advantage of that. And more power. For one, would be security. We need more security. We have quite of our young people that's taking these courses for their class to be certified to do security. And so that will help. That will put up a lot of our Oakland residents to work. You know what I mean? To help secure these buildings and whatnot, to prevent a lot of this graffiti and they going in and just stealing all the copper and all this type of stuff here. Another thing will help is a patrol. And the city needs more patrol. Oh my God, yes, needs a whole lot of patrol and a lot of footwalk too. Sometimes footwalk, and you can ride the 10-speed, the bike. They got the e-bikes now, so they ain't got the pedal. So again, yeah, need a lot of foot patrol and bike patrol. But and all that is regarding safety. All that right there is regarding safety. And so niggas start slowly by taking all that back. You know what I mean? Like to brighten up the city. And so again, it's about not allowing it to go on. That's the key right there. Shut it down. The things. Go ahead.
I was just curious. How do you propose to? Because there are a number of people who claim that there may be only 400, 500, 600 police officers. Well, 600 is too generous. 400 police officers that we actually have active out there because of pay problems not having enough of a budget to get all the police officers effectively out there. What's your, at least preliminarily, your thoughts about improving that situation, improving the budgeting issue, the funding issue?
Well, as far as that, just got a new chief. I congratulate him on that. Like I said, anybody gets in position or take place or willing to take a stand, just like I'm doing for mayor, they doing the same to the police department, and Barbara Lee's doing the same to the city. So, you know what I mean? I give them their props. But here's another thing. When you sit down at the table, you also have to look at what needs to be done. How can we brighten up our city? How can we make our city better? You know what I mean? And then, so again, I say again to that, and that's another thing regarding power. So they would have to me, double up on their shift. Yeah. And then right now, it looks like you will see more officers during the day than you'll see at night. Yeah, it's not about waiting for a crime, and then you'll see a lot of them come out. No. Need to patrol more, patrol the city more, and you know where the areas really are, where everything occurs all the time. And so that will help back those people up. Okay, no, they'll hear too much, you know what I mean? And I know it's a lot of people I'm hearing comes from different other cities and stuff like that. So that would slow a lot of that down. But again, and if the budget is not there or is not enough for the office to double up or to work overtime, then I would bring it to the table to see to it that they get more money for that, because the city needs to be secured. We need to stop the ones don't live in the city to just come in here and just tear up and mess up people's property, and you know what I mean, that sort of thing. Because we want our children safe, we want everybody safe. It's very important. I'm a people's person.
Yeah. How do you propose to, if you see this as a problem, improve the rate of construction of housing? We don't have enough affordable housing. And on top of that, on the one hand, we don't have enough affordable housing. On the other hand, among buildings that are proposed, we're not getting enough of them through the pipeline. There's not enough investment to assist developers and give them an incentive to build more housing. How do you propose to change that state of affairs, or if you see that as a problem?
Yeah, that's it's a problem. To me, if we stop losing so much, we lose so much. Our vendors are the big negotiators, the ones with the money. They would stop in Oakland. Oh, wow, this is nice. It's really picking up now. Hey, well, let's open up a business here. Let's see if we can get some affordable housing going or something like that. So again, that's what I'm saying. That's where the power comes in, and I would be at the table. Yeah, I would be at the table. Yes, to change that, to see what kind of budget or I will be able to work with to now this affordable housing. Now we have to make sure these people get on that list as Oakland residents. That's another key. You know what I mean? When they said it's affordable, they have to make it affordable. They can't say that at the table. Then when people apply, they never get on. Now that is not right. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Yes, sir.
So when you say make it affordable, how do we do that? Do we give them money? Do we how do you propose we do that?
Well, it takes two. You know what I mean? They have to come down to their level. You know what I mean? You know where a lot of people stand. They put all the cards on the table. They show you how much they can afford each month. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's not a crime. They speaking the truth about themselves, their history, and about what they make. You know what I mean? What more can they do? I mean, when they say affordable, does somebody have to come from the hills or another county? Oh no, you got to give people a chance. You got to give people a chance. And speaking of chance, I'm trying to stay on that subject, but speaking of chance, it's a lot of our men and women that's come from incarceration, from jail, and that sort of thing is seeking, constantly looking for housing, looking for work, trying to get on board. And it's like they don't have a second chance. You know what I mean? Now me, there needs to be something done about that. That right there. And mass incarceration is very important.
The stop, because I mean, or unless you propose, you were saying mass incarceration is very important. Important to stop, or important.
I'm just saying, pretty much to be directly on the case, and just give them time for what they committed. Just don't overdo it. You know what I mean? And then overlook them and just slam the book at, or give them more time. You know what I mean? That's all. Let's just be fair, and to bring our county back, and let's work together. That's my key. Working together. How can we work together? So what I mean? That's me.
Speaking
You
of
know,
which, what are your thoughts? Go ahead and make sure you got your thoughts up before I.
no. Just like I say, for the people, giving back. Just giving back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As I remember, they have this. The place used to be for juveniles.
Mm-hmm.
Right downtown there. And that's closed up. You know what I mean? Like there's no nothing more, nothing to where these young men can go for his big brother, or sir, I need some help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. See, things like that will help reduce crime, because these people, they seeking, they really want to work. They really want to work. They want a little job, and you know what I mean. So you know what I mean. Again, I don't know. Like I say, my thing is taking it one issue at a time
Mm-hmm.
and rebuilding Oakland. Bringing,
Mm-hmm.
building up Oakland. That's that's the key right there. Mm.
I want to turn my questions to the matter of Lake Merritt and something that really bothers me. It bothers me that we as a city are incarcerating people who are simply just trying to make a buck by saying, well, okay, you lined up here and you shouldn't sell here. You don't have a seller's permit, as opposed to an economic development approach which says, hey, look, we will help you get a seller's permit. We will help you get in the right place, but you got to stay there. As opposed to this, there's no outline or plan around the lake that says, okay, you can sell here, here, and here, but not there, right?
Mm.
And then these folks are get uh, penalized. They are citations are written about them. Um, they're trying to make money as they can. They're trying to pay rent in an expensive city, which doesn't need to be as expensive as it is. And they're trying to make the ends meet because, where else are they going to go? How do you propose to solve this problem? With vendors, you've seen the vendors around the lake.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen the vendors. Um, I would solve that problem as far as they would have to go up to them and just talk to them. You just can't just shut them down. You have to see what credentials they have. Take a look at their paperwork, and see if they qualify for this. So, okay, still okay. Well, you're glad if they qualified, then wow. Let me put two and two together.
Hmm.
There's a lot of vacant lots. There's a lot of vacant property here. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? They might
Hmm.
be capable enough to get in one of those buildings or one of those lots, or let's build something.
Hmm.
Or merge with a
Hmm.
somebody. You know what I mean? It's about giving people a chance. People just trying to make a living.
Right. See, their thought basically is that the reason why they're selling at the lake is it's foot traffic. You've got sometimes many thousands of people if there's the event. And as a person selling, say, jewelry that you've just made, you want to be out there with your table selling the jewelry, right? I mean, on its
Mhm.
face, there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. But the reality is, to some people, there is something wrong with it. And some people have treated the vendors violently, just for the act of setting up to sell jewelry, which I think is absolutely to treat someone violently regarding that and not arrest them is
Mhm.
absolutely stupid. But that's the situation we have with some people. So, I mean, it's
Mhm.
one thing to say, okay, I want to go to a building or something, but they're going to say, wait a minute, who's going to come to see me at a building when I've got all these people at the lake, right? A bright
Mhm.
sunny day, it's 80 degrees outside, they're all walking around. You mean I can't set up a table and sell to them?
Mhm.
So, how do
Well,
we, that's what I'm saying. How do we solve that problem?
I think they should work with everybody, because they just you can't focus on let me just go here, a certain nationality. You have to
Hmm.
look at everybody. You know what I mean? If you're not shutting down other people, why bring them down? Because now I'm not just by the lake, because on Fruitvale they got it sold up. Or what about
Yeah.
a Coliseum? They got it sold up.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I mean? And they're not bringing down, they're not coming down. They'll drive right by there, and they'll matter of fact, they'll purchase food there and everything. So again, I don't think it's right. And I would do something about it. Yes, I will. Hmm. I would take a look at some of their documents. And if I say it's okay and I'm there, it's going to. And I kid you not, some be harassed, Mr. Vinny. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Some be harassed. And it's just not right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we have this problem where we've got a number of buildings that are at or near foreclosure status. It's absolutely frightening. And that has to do with a lack of foot traffic in areas like downtown. Forcing people to come to work, even in City Hall, hasn't worked. I know what I favor. I favor something that's some people think is complicated, which involves redevelopment, tax increment financing. But from your perspective, how do we get a situation where owners of these buildings and businesses can be made whole in some kind of way so that they can be assured that their business will be a going concern in Oakland as opposed to having to move it to someplace else, like, Walnut Creek, or just simply cease to exist, which is happening with a lot of business. Wood Tavern, one of my favorite restaurants in Oakland, right there on College Avenue, is supposed to close in 6 months. Excellent food. If you have a chance, you're watching this, folks, go up to Wood Tavern and tell Keith and everybody else, tell them I sent you. Wood Tavern's a great place, but it's closing.
Wow.
Yeah. We've had restaurant after restaurant after restaurant close.
Yes,
and the
sir.
city has done nothing about it. And the city could. What say you about helping these businesses?
I will get to the table. Yeah, I will get back to the table, and I will find out what's going on and why. You know what I mean? To keep businesses open, to keep business in Oakland, and there's too many businesses are closing up. You know what I mean? And if we don't do something fast, it's going to be called Ghostland instead of Oakland, and it's just not right. It will be called Ghostland instead of Oakland, and that's where I'm at right now. Oh yes. That's where I'm at right now. I will definitely work on that to keep businesses open, cutting the red ribbon, not putting up fences.
Yeah. You have kids or kid. What are your thoughts about, even though the city doesn't control Oakland Unified School District, the mayor can have an influence? What would you like to see the Oakland Unified School District do? And how do you propose to help them get more money to basically, which comes down to helping our kids get better educations?
Well, as far as our kids getting better education, and then, you know what I would do? I would give the teachers a raise. Yeah, I would give the teachers a raise because they see so much going on. And then again, a lot of teachers are willing to, trying to leave out of Oakland, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's all about a rebuild. It's all about taking back. Let's take back our Oakland. So, that's what I'm about. Again, I would sit at the table to keep our teachers here, to continue to teach our students these after school programs and everything. All this matters because in the long run, in a few years, these same little ones is going to grow up.
Yep.
And we want to see them become men and women. Besides that, we want to see them go to college, and stuff like that. So, we'll definitely put in a budget for them. Yeah. To make our city great, to remain, teachers here in the, Alameda County.
Hey, so you grew up in Oakland with your father. What do you love most about our city?
Oh my God, it's so much. I've been a port worker, about 20 years. I worked at the post office, fed the soldiers, like I said. Everything is right there. Everything is right there. Everything is right there, close. You know what I mean? But now that I'm older, I want to give back and help our young people. And it's not much. Now, if these young kids, sir, would like to go skating, they got to go all the way to Hayward, all the way to Alameda. You know what I mean? There's no movie theater. You know what I mean? You
Oh, we
know,
got
there's
Grand Lake. Can't forget
uh,
about the Grand Lake. Yeah, the Grand Lake home, my good friend Alan Michon.
oh yeah, that's good too. But
Yeah, Lake Park. Yeah.
yeah, that's true too. But has to be something like the one in Union City, where a lot
Okay.
of the young people like to meet. You know what I mean? They
Uh-huh.
used to have something like that closer. You know what I mean? There's nothing fun to where the young people can get out and do things. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
And so they get together and they
So,
find something to do on their own because
yeah.
nobody's the older people not giving back to them. They're not reaching out to them. Hey, how you doing, young man? How you feeling? How you feeling? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? How's your
Mm-hmm.
day going? Everything going on at school? How things at home? You know, and there's no more of that. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
We're just trying to bring back community, lift things up. You know what I mean? You know, getting these businesses to open, man. We gotta bring it back.
Mm-hmm.
We gotta
What about
bring it
Dave
back.
and Buster down there at Jack London Square? Used to be, great place to hang out.
Oh yeah, damn. You talking about? To my knowledge, I'm hearing that they trying to shut down. What is that?
Plank.
The Plank. Yes, sir.
Plank's going out of business. Yep. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You got the Plank going out of the business. You got
Uh,
Tavern going out of business. There's another
mm-mm-mm.
restaurant going out of business, like all over the place. The Plank hasn't officially, Plank has officially announced it is going out of the business, but Dave and Buster's is next to the Plank. And so the idea is,
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm thinking, hey, Dave and Buster's maybe not be around for the next year, right?
Wow.
You know, what do we do, Mr. Mayor?
Well, I will get back at the table. I would
Mm-hmm.
negotiate. I would try to keep that business open and keep them in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. Whatever it takes. You know, if it takes more money, then I'll see to it we get more money. But
Okay.
keeping that business in Oakland is very important because our young people love it. They love
Mm-hmm.
going down there. And the business is booming.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Wow.
Your thoughts
Mm.
on how we get people to come to work physically? Because a lot of folks who work for Oakland work out of their homes, and separate from the fact that it's a problem where downtown doesn't get that foot traffic, where the businesses down there don't enjoy the money that those employees can spend for lunch at those businesses, for example.
Hmm.
Uh, but then on top of that, I believe that one reason why we had a cyber attack 3 years ago was that when we had people working at home, particularly those in the IT area, uh, security was lax. And so, maybe you leave your laptop open, maybe your kid comes nearby, maybe your kid presses the wrong button, maybe something is done to where all of a sudden um, someone is able to gain access to our system. And suddenly we've got, well, what we faced. Uh, Hackers
Hmm.
going in and taking information, phone numbers of you and me, financial information of other people, and so on. What do we do to get employees downtown? My answer is I think
Mm.
we should have events like Friday food bus where we have restaurants come by, we pay the restaurants, we have a kind of a taste of Oakland. But then the other session is we have employees tell about what their projects are. The public
Hmm.
can attend and give feedback and encouragement to what's going on, and uh, create uh, a kind of a constituency for
Hmm.
what our employees are looking at working on. Also, create a better connection between the employees and the community. That's my off the
Right.
top of the head. But what do you think about what to do to get people at work? Because they would have to come to work and give the presentation. You see what I'm getting at? They would have to
Right.
come.
Absolutely, sir. And those are some good points that you just addressed, and that's good. I remember they used to have a garlic festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. My God, that was awesome. They need more of that. They need more First Friday, where the community and the people come out and get together and just observe and have more fun. But they need more security.
You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah. How do we solve that
Definitely
problem,
more security.
Paul, for the
Excuse
First
me?
Friday? Do we keep First Friday going? Or
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. We keep First Friday.
And what about the security? What do you do down there?
More foot patrol.
Yeah.
More foot patrol. Because the ones that's up to something, they're going to be on foot. Need more foot patrol.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea either. When I say it like that, and I didn't mean it to say it's a bad idea, but I was saying community policing is what we used to call it. Remember that term?
Yes.
Yeah, getting people out there, getting the police out there among the people. Yeah, which we don't do enough of. Now let's shift to the Coliseum. Coliseum is in the middle of a transition of ownership. What are your thoughts about the Oakland Coliseum? What's going on down there now? Do you like it, dislike it? What's your plan, if any, for the Coliseum?
Right now, I dislike it because there ain't nothing going on. Not much at all. You know what I mean? Very little, few events. But we done lost all of our sport teams.
Yep.
We done lost all of our sport teams. Oh, my God. And if I was in that position, if I was mayor 4 years ago, that wouldn't happen. I would have been at the table. I would have been at the table negotiating. We can't lose our sports team.
Negotiating, but what happened? Shang was out there. What happened?
Well, what happened was she was on the wrong end of the table. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you're in a high position, you have to focus on what needs to be done to keep our large businesses, right here in Oakland. You know what I mean? You have to, you have to just stay focused. You know what I mean? There's everybody ain't going to be on your side. You know what I mean? And so, again, you have to be a people person on everything. What's for the people? What's for our children? How can we make our city better? You know what I mean? You have to be a people's person.
Yes.
It's not about me or what you think. No. You have a committee. That's when I said I'll bring it to the table.
Hey, so let's turn our thoughts to the Oakland airport. My issue with the airport is that passenger volume has went down by 1/3 over the past 4 years. What do we do to bring Oakland airport back?
Well, for one, I would then start contacting some other airlines. For one, and then the structure of the city up and down 73rd there in Hagenberger, start back building up these hotels and restaurants that used to be, that have left, bring in new vendors, you know what I mean? And start cutting some ribbons, you know what I mean? Yeah, start cutting some ribbons, and then bring back in some more sport teams. You gotta have some sport teams. Everybody loves sports. Yeah, gotta bring in some sport teams. I mean, I hate to mention it, but it's real hot right now in San Jose, Santa Clara. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And we had it. And so so we can't go on
what was it that was so hot? in San Jose? You said it was,
Mhm.
but what was it? You said regarding sports. What was it that was real hot?
That football,
Football. Okay.
that football,
The
that
NFL,
basketball. You know what I mean?
NBA.
Now, right. And that soccer, the
Hmm.
soccer. I wish we would have had that here. We didn't have nothing else here. We could have had that here.
Well, the earthquakes are up for sale.
Yeah.
Those
I, I,
earthquakes.
I wish I could make some noise with that. I would love for the earthquake to remain in Oakland or come to Oakland. But also Oakland Roots,
Hmm. Yeah.
they on the borderline.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the Oakland A's to the Oakland Ballers, it's like wow.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Raiders was the hottest thing in Oakland.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why, in your opinion, did the Raiders leave?
Well, again, you have to think about your community. You have to think about your city. You have to think about your people.
Hmm.
You have to think about how packed and on how the city would come together, win or lose, just to Oakland to watch the Raiders. You have to put all that in your mind when you're sitting at the table negotiating before you sign anything.
Hmm.
Think about it. Long term. Long term. Long term. You know what I mean? You have to put all that on the table. All of our people are important, and that's me. I'm a people's person, and that's what it's about. If it's going to take from, nah. Mm-mm. How can we win? By sticking together, coming together, and fighting for what the people want.
Yes. Well
How we
said.
can have these organizations and these foundations and whatnot established for our children. They coming up fast. You know what I mean? And it's
Hmm.
too many being incarcerated. It's too many on the street. If I must say that it's too much homeless
Hmm.
people out there, and especially when they got families that's homeless, it should be some programs.
Hmm.
Yeah, some programs. And here's another thing: veterans. There's no reason that veterans should be on the street.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Actually, nobody. You know what I mean? I know over in the city they got tiny homes. Well, they need more tiny homes here. They need to build. They have a lot of vacant property. Yeah. So again, if I had to stay at the table, I would be at the table. Me to negotiate to make Oakland better. I'm a people's person,
Hmm.
and I know I'm just saying it right now, but I'm for real. I'm for real. We're losing our city.
Have you had a thought about who you'll have working in your administration if you, or as you run for mayor? Who's helping you out? Who's your allies? Who do you believe you want in your office to do the job, or help you do the job of running the city of Oakland?
Well, I have some people in place, and I truly thank God for Pastor Fabian Robinson.
Hmm.
He's a great help and a very good supportive young man, and he's helped me a lot.
Hmm.
And he knows about what's going on, what's taking place, and he's a good fighter.
Hmm.
You know, he's a good fighter. He has a big heart. Yeah, he knows what's taking place and what's going on. He's a great guy. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And
sir.
I like that. He got fire. He got fire. And one thing I like, he's not afraid to speak up. He's
Oh,
another
yeah,
one. He's for the people. He's going to speak up.
that's right.
Yeah, definitely. That's him.
Hmm.
Yeah, so he's a great man. He's not just a great man because he's my friend. He's a great man because he like to speak up for what's
Hmm.
going on in the community, or what's wrong. That not supposed to happen. That not supposed to be. So I like that.
What position would
Mhm.
you give him?
Um, whichever one he wants. Well, you need somebody by your side that's going to take charge, stand by you, and your second opinion. You want your second opinion to be great, to where again, hey, it's for the people. For the people. So if that's going to draw, wow, I can't wait to draw. You want
Derek
okay?
Sue, one of our vloggers, also ran for mayor. He says there are solutions to the homeless crisis, but nobody wants to hear about them. Third party interventions are not reducing homelessness. Um, so, what do you think about that comment that Derek just put out there?
Reducing homeless.
Yeah, he says there are solutions to the homeless crisis, but nobody wants to hear about them. Third party interventions are not reducing homelessness. Um, hey, Derek, what do you mean by third party interventions? Because that is, to some people, that is a solution. But when you say third party interventions, uh, that could be anything. I mean, so can you explain that, Derek? Will and while we're talking about it, Derek Sue is himself homeless. Good guy to know, by the way, and has ran for mayor twice, and
Amen. Okay.
um, and
Great.
he lives down there by the Coliseum, not far, and is facing
Okay.
some challenges, but he's meeting them head on. So but what do you think about Derek's initial comment? How do you interpret what he's saying?
Some great points. As far as the homeless, they need to get on this. They need to get on this subject real bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, the streets is looking real bad. These is too many properties that's vacant. They need to build something. They got to build something for these homeless people and get the people off the street. And plus the storm is about to come soon. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We all about saving lives, being safe. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
these people want shelter. They really do.
Need and absolutely need it. Yeah, he says third party interventions, and I want him to spell out what that means because that's kind of hanging out there. Uh,
Hmm.
so he wrote East Bay here, but I don't see him. That's an incomplete sentence as I look at it in
Hmm.
the context of our conversation. Derek, can you flesh that out, please? Like to, yeah, here we go. He says, Operation Dignity, HCEB, Housing Consortium of the East Bay are two of the third party intervention organizations. So, what Derek is saying is that these organizations are not doing a good job. Because go back to what he said third party interventions are not reducing homelessness. And he's talking about Operation Dignity and the Housing Consortium. Okay. And so he said that there are solutions, but nobody wants to hear about them. So, what say you about that? My suggestion is you hire Derek Sue to run your homeless program.
Sounds like a good one right there.
Yeah, because Derek's lived it. He's run for mayor. That's why I've been a
Hmm.
big advocate of him getting his voice out there, uh, because he's living this problems. He says
Hmm.
also Boss building build Boss's Bunachina's outfit of of I forgot what the acronym for BOSS stands for, but at any rate, these are third-party intervention organizations that are not getting the job done, but they're getting a lot of money.
Mm.
Am
Yeah.
I right, Derek? They're getting a lot of money, yet there's no smoke. My thought is we need to have a healthy redevelopment program operation like we had prior to the time that Jerry Brown got rid of it. And there was a period where you couldn't use tax increment financing. That's my thought. Um, we are limping along with government grants, begging the politicians in Washington, as opposed to building our own funding mechanisms via tax increment financing. Derek says building on self sufficiency. He wants to build on self sufficiency, which for me is kind of an open ended deal. It's like because by the definition of homelessness, self-sufficiently trying to find yourself, a roof over your head, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's we're getting to a place where that's a long conversation, getting off the track of you running for mayor. But Derek makes some great points. What do you say?
Oh, absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree. They need to open up the door. They have a lot of grants and they have a lot of organizations that would come in and help build these structures to help get these people off the street. And so that's my main thing. Like you said, they have a lot of money. So we can make this happen.
BOSS acronym is building opportunities for self-sufficiency. That's what BOSS is. It's building opportunities, BO, building opportunities for self-sufficiency, BOSS. So that's the acronym there. Oh, and and that's what Derek, thanks. Derek are of one mind. Got it. What BOSS stands for. Got it. Derek, one mind. So that's what he is saying, but clearly we're not doing enough and we're not coalescing enough. And so it sounds to me like you're open to having help. Have you built your cabinet of people to advise you?
Yes, I'm in that range now. I'm that process that I'm taking care of. I'm working on that right now as we speak. I got some people in place, yeah. So next time we speak, I can share a few of them with you.
Derek says Oakland has spent over $100 million since he's been homeless. $100 million, 1/10 of a billion on the homeless problem, and yet the homeless numbers are going what? Up.
Yeah.
Something wrong with that picture, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. That's something else.
The money's up there and the people still on the street.
Connect,
Yes.
Yeah. Derek, I think
very good points, Derek.
Yeah. And then Derek says, and Oakland continues to grow. Yeah. You mean the Oakland homeless population continues to grow. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he says. So in closing,
I would like to meet Derek.
Yeah, Derek, there you go.
I'd like to meet Derek. I need to bring Derek on board.
I will give you Derek's number.
I would like to bring Derek on board.
Yeah, there you go, Derek.
Yes.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let him know that. Yeah, you can share his number with me. With me.
Any closing thoughts as we in this? We're going to have you back, by the way. And anybody else running for mayor of Oakland, please come and tell your story to Zennie 62.
Oh man, thank you, and thank you, Derek, for tapping in. Appreciate you, and I would like to sit down and speak with you. Is that all right with you?
There you go, Derek.
Oh, man.
Derek's passing along. I will do that, Derek. Definitely. Okay. Any thoughts, Mr. Williams?
Veve, excuse me. Hold on, it's my door.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Brandon with AT&T.
Oh no, I'm good right now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, thank you.
You have a good one?
All right, thank you, sir. Sorry about that.
It was AT&T?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your parting thoughts regarding your message to the people of Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Just my thoughts, fighting for the people and safety and helping our homeless to make our city brighter and better and bring in more vendors and cut more ribbons.
And what's your website?
Excuse me?
You have a website, active website? You got the flyer and everything, but you have your active website yet? If you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. Or Facebook?
Oh, no, I don't have it handy, but I can send it to you.
Okay.
I've seen the information.
Okay, cool. You got it. All right.
Mm-hmm. I just have that one email, but I have another special email, but I'll get it to you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, folks, hey, Mr. Williams, thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you
all for tuning in. Derek, thank you for the questions and comments.
Amen.
That closes this conversation at almost exactly an hour, a little less thereabouts. Subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube and bookmark oaklandnewsonline.com and check out our newest website, one of them, oaklandrestaurantweek.com. All right. And that ends this broadcast. You're doing the move a muscle.
Or
Gotcha.